so we're ready to start step 302 on our ecom app project. What we're doing in this step is we're creating categories, and we're going to keep things simple, and we're going to use shapes and colors. The reason we're going to use shapes and colors will become more and more evident to you as we move forward with the project, and you see how products and categories are arranged within an e-commerce website, how the filters work, how we get our customers down into that funnel that we've discussed, and have conversions. So with that said, we're going to go ahead, we're going to start the project. I want to quickly go over what it is that we're going to do, which is we're going to create the category shapes and circles, subcategory squares, subcategory triangles. We'll go and we'll take a quick peek. Our shapes will have an image. We'll actually push an image up. I'll supply all the data for the categories and products and so on. It will be your job to use that data to create them by watching this video. We can go in and we can take a peek and we can see where we're at with the different categories. Obviously, we're just going to end up with our shape categories and a brief description. We'll go ahead and we'll take care of the metadata as well. So our title, we'll make sure that we're putting a title in, a description, all SEO value, and our keywords as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. One of the first things that we want to do is we're going to go ahead and in the changelog, there's updates, additions, modifications, and then as we do changes, there's categories, there's media assets, categories, and as we scroll down, there's products and there's settings. At the moment, there are no products or setting changes, so we can keep rolling along and go ahead and get our categories created. So in our next lesson, we can put products into those categories. So the way we're going to start is we're going to download the shapes zip file. And what is inside of this zip file is the category images that we're going to use. So you're going to want to download that. Go ahead, extract all, and make sure that that's available to you so that we can get to that. And these are the images that we'll be using. And we're going to go ahead and upload product images at the same time because we can upload multiple images. And the way we're going to do our directory structure, it just makes sense. It's more efficient to go ahead and do the upload for the products as well at the same time. So inside there, that zip file, these are all the files that are in there that we'll be uploading. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to log into our site, and we're going to get started by creating the category shapes. And a lot of copy and paste here, so we'll go ahead, log in, and we're going to go to catalog, categories, and you'll see right now it's just the default categories that come with OpenCart. And the way we add a category is by clicking on the add new, and we get started. Of course, the first thing is our category name. Our category name is the name that will be displayed on the front of the store. We'll get our description, and our description, sometimes it's better to just paste it in code view so that it doesn't carry formatting over from another website. Our description is just a basic description that I pulled off of the internet to fill in. We'll talk more and more about description and more of the key characteristics as we go along. Then we have our meta title. Our meta title, I'm going to drag this actually next to it so I can just flop back and forth. Meta title. Whoops, that's not meta title, that's meta description. We'll talk about that since we grabbed it. Our meta description is basically that information is displayed in a search engine under the title. And there are some, I gotta fix that meta title. But we can go ahead and we can steal the next meta title, and I'll update the meta title in there. It'll be correct when you go to do it. So I'll come over here, put in the circles, paste in the shapes, and there, we're back on track. Our meta titles was displayed in the search results, also in many different areas as we discussed and as you read. I'm not going to elaborate too much. There's pretty comprehensive reading along with this, some videos to watch to glean some more information and get the things that we need. So we got the meta description, meta title. We're going to do the keywords. Keywords, not as important as they were 10 years ago, but they still have some value and are worth the effort of putting in. So we'll throw our keywords in, and of course we just shapes, squares, circles, triangles. There is no parent. We want shapes to be at the top of the menu. So we'll go ahead and scroll down, and we'll do our first images. And when we click on the image, it allows us to add an image to or delete the existing image. And now we're kind of in this media manager where we can go ahead and go ahead and create a folder called shapes. Lets us know it was created. We'll go inside it, and we'll go ahead, since we're working on just shapes, and we'll take the shape image, select it, and it falls into play. Now this top menu, we want this checked. It is commented in the information file as well. You know, parent none, we talked about that, and the top one is checked. And so by saying by checking it, we're telling the system that we want this to be displayed in that top menu system that appears at the top of the page. At this point, SEO, design, nothing to do there. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit save. And we can see that our category shapes was created. If we go out to the front end of the website, even though we have no products in it, we'll be able to see that there is our category shapes. And so we're off to a good start. 1 of 4 done. So the next one that I'm going to do is going to be, let's close that out so we can reference over here. Our next one is circles. So I'm going to go ahead and put the category name in circles. I'm going to go grab my description. And throw that in my description. And actually, again, you saw how that got real thick and out of context. If I go and put it in this way, it just treats it like a normal paragraph and removes all the formatting, which is what we want. Our title, our meta tag title, we talked about that. We'll go and put that in. Our description, meta tag description, and then of course our keywords, which we'll just keep down to shapes and circles. And then we're going to come, and the thing we're going to do that's different is we're going to go ahead and put circles under shapes, and that's what the parent is. So we'll get that down there. Go take care of our, we're working on circles. So I'm just going to copy that and use it over here. going to edit the picture. I'm going to go inside of shapes, and I'm going to create another folder called circles. Your folder structure can actually play a big role in a lot of system operations and things like that. So you really want to put some thought into how you name things and put them together. So let's go grab. Now we're just going to go ahead and grab all of our circles and come down here and click open, and uploaded them all. We're going to go ahead and use the gray circle, and we want this to be a part of the top menu as well, so we'll check that off. It's enabled, by the way, and we'll hit save, and we'll go out and take a look at what we've done here. So now we have shapes and circles, and if we go to show all shapes, what we see is below we have circles. We have circles in the menu over here. We go to circles. Of course, we don't have any products in there, but it's always nice to go out and take a look. So now I'm going to move on to the remaining two, and I'm going to go a little bit faster at this point. Go put my squares in, category name squares. Go grab my description, and I'm going to code view that just so I get a nice clean paragraph. I'm not too worried about the formatting, so I just want it to look decent. Grab my meta tag title. Sizes. Not sizes, but I was reading the description as I was copying and pasting. Come over here, shapes and squares. Put that in our keywords. We'll go up to our data. We know that we want the parent of shapes. I'm going to come down, go into my images, into my shapes. I'm going to create now another folder. And this time we're doing squares. So I'll save that. Go into my squares, upload some squares, all 4 of them, click the open button. There they are. We're using all gray for here. And of course we want this to show up in the top menu. So at that point we're good. Parents there. And so we should have squares. We go take a peek real quick. We have squares. We go and look. Let's go ahead and look at squares. Looks good. Our squares are in. So what we have left is our triangles. And at this point, instead of hopping back and forth, I'm just going to go ahead and grab all this information. I'm going to create a new. I'm just going to dump everything I have right there into the description. Get rid of that. Actually, I'll just go ahead and grab the description. Let's move triangles up here real quick. It didn't let us do it. That's all right. Go into code view, select all, paste. You don't have to do it this way. You just find little ways to increase efficiency when you're doing jobs like this, because they can be so time consuming. Oh yeah, and we need the category name triangles. Have all my data in. Go over here. My parent's going to be shapes. go take care of my image, go into shapes, and create a new folder. We're going to call this one triangles. Go into our triangles, and let's go ahead and upload our triangles. Hit open. Grab our gray triangle and show in top menu. And we'll hit save. Great. So at this point, we should have our 4 categories with our category information. We have our shapes. If we go to show all shapes, we have our information in there. If we go to circles, we got that. That's good. Squares is good. And triangles is good. Great. So that concludes this part of, lesson 302. In 303, we'll start adding categories. We'll add all of our shape, our shape products to our categories in step 303. And then in step 304 is when it's really going to start to get interesting, because it'll start to make sense to you why we're using shapes and colors, so that we can learn how to really harness the power of an e-commerce system and get our products out there in front of our potential clients, and hopefully position them to buy. So until next time.